Okay, well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the regular meeting of the Texarkana, Texas City Council. Today is Monday, December the 12th, 2022. We have a rather large gathering in our audience this evening, and I want to thank you for being here with us for our last council meeting for 2022. It's certainly hard to believe. This year has really flown by. So at this time, I'd like to call on our City Secretary, Jennifer Evans, for a roll call. Ms. Evans?
Here. Here.
Mr. Davis?
Here.
Ms. Williams?
Here.
We do have a full council this evening, and our invocation and pledge will be led by Councilmember Bill Harp. If everyone will please stand.
Our most gracious Heavenly Father, thank you for providing this opportunity to meet tonight and conduct the business of our city and help our community. During this Advent season, let us remember your call to respect all who you have created and give dignity to. Help us be people of charity and grace as we humbly ask you to provide us the wisdom to make decisions that improve and bless all parts of our city. Protect and watch over our police officers, city workers, firemen, and first responders as they work each day to improve and protect our community. These things we ask in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. You may be seated. Next month in January, we will revert back to our regular 2 council meetings per meeting, January 9th at 6 p.m. as well as January the 23rd at 6 p.m. And at this time, we'll have our swearing in of council members for Ward 4 and Ward 6. And Judge Hawkins is here this evening to provide the oath. So if Ms. Page and Mr. Davis, Ms. Page represents Ward 4, Mr. Davis represents Ward 6. And Judge, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Mayor. Would you two come forward? Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of, state your office, of the city of Texarkana, Texas, and the state of Texas, and will to the best of my ability preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state. So help me God. Congratulations to you both, and would you please step over here and sign your oath of office? Christy, start with you. Thank you. Congratulations.
All right. Councilmember Page and Councilmember Davis, I want to personally thank you for the service that you provide to our citizens, representing the citizens in your respective ward. I know it's a very time-intensive endeavor, and so I just want to thank you for all the great work that you do and the support that you also receive from your family as well. At this time, I would like to present your official certificates, and I will do Councilmember Page's first. In the name and the authority of the state of Texas, this is to certify that a general election held on November 8th, 2022, Christy Page was duly elected as council member of Ward 4. In testimony whereof I have hereunto signed my name and caused the seal of Texarkana, Texas to be affixed at the City of Texarkana this 12th day of December 2022. And I have signed this document as the signature of the presiding officer of Canvassing Authority. So Councilmember Page, I'd like to present to you your certificate at this time, and thank you for your service. At this time, I'd like to present Councilmember Davis's certificate. In the name and the authority of the state of Texas, this is to certify that a general election held on November 8th, 2022, Jay Davis was duly elected as council member of Ward 6. In testimony whereof, I have hereunto signed my name and caused the seal of Texarkana, Texas to be affixed at the City of Texarkana this 12th day of December 2022. Once again, I have signed this document. Councilmember Davis, I'd like to present to you your certificate, sir, and thank you for your service.
Appreciate it.
All right. And then as they make their way back to their desk or their seats, I will ask Councilmember Page if she would not mind to share with us family and or friends that she has in the audience. Councilmember Davis, his family, they're out of town and elsewhere doing things, so but we certainly appreciate your family's support that they provide for you. So Councilmember Page, I'll ask you to please recognize those that you have in the audience this evening.
Yes, I have several family members and friends here tonight. I have my brother and his wife, Brandon and Lauren Murray and Ryan, and then my dad and my stepmother, Joe Murray and Brenda Murray and Katie Joe, my daughter, and my sister, Misty Spearman, and my mother, Rose Spearman, and my friend, Amisha Thomas, and my other friend, Deborah Nevels.
Okay, would you all please stand so we could recognize you? Okay, that's fine. Go ahead. Go ahead.
We're going to snap a picture, please.
Yep, go ahead and come back. You're welcome to come up front. Those of you family and friends this evening, you are certainly welcome to stay with us for our entire council meeting if you would like. However, if you do have other events or functions to attend to, you're welcome to leave at any time. So I just want to leave an open invitation to you this evening. So once again, you had a lot of support this evening.
I know. Let me get a picture in case they got it bad.
Good. All right. So once again, thank you all for being here. As I mentioned a couple of minutes ago, our council meetings for the month of January will be on the 9th and the 23rd at 6 p.m. As a reminder, especially for Council Member Williams and myself, the Intergovernmental Advisory Committee for the Bi-State Justice Center building, excuse me, I don't think I'm turned on. There we go. The IAC meeting on December the 15th, the Intergovernmental Advisory Committee for the Bi-State Justice Center will be meeting on Thursday, December the 15th. 2022 at 10 a.m. The meeting will be held in the boardroom on the second floor at Texarkana, Arkansas City Hall at 216 Walnut Street, Texarkana, Arkansas. So once again, that's Thursday. Councilmember Williams and I serve on the IAC board. Also, Senior Day Out 2022, the Senior Day Out Christmas party at the Southwest Center will be held on December 14th from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. The first 100 senior citizens will get a free lunch, and there will also be music, dancing, bingo, health screenings, vendors, door prizes, and more. All participants are encouraged to donate an unused pair of socks to receive extra door prize entries. And once again, that will be on December the 14th. Additional parks and recreation information can be found on the city's website or contacting the staff at 903-798-3978. Also, the annual downtown Christmas celebration, Christmas on Main, and all its favorite activities will be held at the Pro Theater on December the 17th, which is this coming Saturday, from 10 a.m. until 8 p.m. A lot of entertainment, movies to be seen, and other items of interest at the Pro Theater on December the 17th. Also, this past Friday, we had our annual Unsung Heroes Luncheon. This luncheon was held at First Baptist Church. This is a luncheon that the church hosts each year for those unsung heroes, city employees, those that sometimes don't receive the proper recognition that they need. Those who work at our wastewater treatment plants, our firefighters, our police officers, those who work on our city work crews, those officials from waste management and other entities. And I understand that the event that was held this year had the largest attendance from any time that this event has been held. They had over 300 who attended. And so the church staff, Pastor Jeff Shreve, and the staff at First Baptist, they were extremely pleased with the turnout. They even went out and got more food just to make sure there was enough food for everyone. And it was a great event. Also last Monday, we had our annual Main Street Christmas Parade that was held downtown. There was a very, very large gathering for that particular event. The route was changed up a little bit this year, the parade route, but a lot of people had a lot of fun. The weather was very cooperative that evening, and so certainly enjoy those who participated in our annual Christmas parade hosted by Main Street. At this time, we'll move along to our open forum, comments from the public. If there's anyone in the audience who would like to address the council, you're welcome to do so. You will have up to 5 minutes to speak. And if you're here this evening to speak on behalf of one of our public hearing items, then I respectfully ask if you will wait until we get to that public hearing item. Be more than happy to listen to your comments at that time. We also ask that you fill out one of the sheets on the rack there by the door, the yellow sheets. Ms. Evans, did we have any sheets completed this evening? Okay, we did not. Is there anyone who would like to address the council this evening? Okay, not seeing anyone coming forward. At this time, before we go to appointments to boards and commissions, I would like to turn the floor over to Ward 5 Councilmember Bill Hart. Mr. Hart has an announcement that he would like to make this evening. Councilmember Hart.
Thank you, Mayor.
It makes us sad.
I have advised the council and that I will be handing in my letter of resignation for the seat of Ward 5 council member effective at the end of this month. My wife and I are we're in the final stages of completing a move that will take me outside the boundaries of Ward 5. It has certainly been my pleasure and my privilege to represent the citizens of Ward 5 and serve with my fellow council members up here. I got on the council in 2017, and this council has remained pretty much relatively unchanged in that 5 years. And these people up here I know that have always had the best interests of the citizens of Texarkana at the root of all their decisions. And it has been a joy and a privilege for me to sit on the city council during that time. So I have handed in my letter to Dr. Orr. It's been a pleasure, and I will miss everybody, but I know that our city is in great hands. We have a great team of administrators and people working in City Hall that have made my job easy, and I know that they have made the job of all of our council members easy. So thank you very much.
That makes us really sad.
Well, Councilmember Harp, I certainly want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for your outstanding service to the citizens of Texarkana, the citizens of Ward 5. You have done an outstanding job representing your constituents. A great council member is always someone who is very accessible to the citizens that they represent, to listen to suggestions, to listen to concerns, and that sort of thing. And so we are certainly going to miss your services. With that said, I would like to present to Councilmember Harp, and I think what I'll do is just step down front. If Councilmember Harp, if you'll please join me, have a couple of items to share with you this evening. David, you come up. You can help me with. Oh. Just a second. Thank you. All right, Bill, the first thing I would like to do is to present to you this award. It says Bill Harp in recognition of 5 years of faithful service to the city of Texarkana, Texas. It has the city seal attached to it. So I'd like to present this to you. You're not going to add to your hourly rate on that, are you? Okay, so, all right. Okay, good. At this time, I'd like to present a certificate of city recognition awarded to Councilmember Ward 5, Bill Hart. On behalf of the City Council, I would like to thank Bill Hart for his dedication and commitment in serving the city's Ward 5 residents for the last 5 years. He has been a skilled and judicious steward in working for the community and fundamental part of what the city has accomplished. He has demonstrated invaluable oversight, perspective, and integrity on the council. It has been a true pleasure working with him, and we wish him all the best in his new journey and days ahead. And I have signed the certificate. It's dated December 12th, 2022. And Bill, I'd like to present this special award to you in recognition for your great service to our city and also your great service to the education system with your role with Pleasant Grove School District for many years, educating our young people and being a part of the administration there. So we certainly thank you for your commitment to our citizens. Okay. Anything else you want to say? So with the upcoming vacancy that we're going to have in Ward 5, I would like to share with everyone this evening the course of action that will take place in reference to the vacated position. The City Council is seeking candidates who are willing to fill a vacancy and serve as representative for Ward 5 constituents. The City Council will consider appointing a Ward 5 resident who is a registered voter and otherwise fully qualified to serve the remaining unexpired term that will end November 2023. Ward 5 residents who are interested in being appointed to serve in the position must submit an application and letter of interest to the City Secretary, Jennifer Evans. Applications can be obtained on the City Council's webpage beginning December 19th, or an interested Ward 5 resident can obtain an application from the City Secretary's office. Please see the city's website for more details. The filing period and deadline to submit the application and letter of interest is December the 19th to January 2nd. Let me repeat that, December 19th to January 2nd by 5 p.m. So 5 p.m., January the 2nd would be the deadline. The application and letter of interest must be in the City Secretary's possession by the stated deadline. Letters of interest will be included in the City Council agenda packet for the January 9th, 2023 council meeting. All interested candidates will be interviewed by the City Council in closed session during the January 9th regular meeting and should plan to attend the council meeting. So if anyone does have any further questions, they're welcome to contact the City Manager's office. Ms. Evans or Ms. Coopwood will be glad to assist you with any questions that you have. So once again, Bill, that's going to be a big void to fill, and we certainly want to thank you for your service. I'll open the floor to the council. If any of the council members have any comments or accolades you would like to make to Mr. Harp this evening. I'll begin with Ms. Matlock. Anything you would like to share?
It's been a pleasure working with you,
Thank you, Ms. Matlock.
Mr. Harper, I'd like to thank you for your encouragement and helping me to settle in when I became a council member, because I was really in need of that, and so you made me feel welcome.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Hart. Ms. Williams?
He's just done a wonderful job. He's got a good manner about him, and he's just done a good job, and we're going to miss you, Bill.
Thank you. Ms. Page?
This is my friend. We've been sitting by each other for 5 years. Thank you for your service, and I wish you the best of luck. And I know you'll do well where you're going.
Okay. Mr. Davis?
Well, selfishly, I just want to appreciate his ability to, just have sound reasoning. I've had the opportunity to know Bill for quite a while now in a lot of different scenarios. His education past, he was an administrator to my daughters. And then whenever I got elected to school board, he had to put up with me during that role. And, in both of those times, I went to him, and sound reasoning was always there. And then serving with him along council, there were many times where I had things come up where it was new to me, and he was always a good sounding board, so I'm going to miss that.
Okay. Thank you, Jay. All right. And also, in addition to being a council member for a period of time, Councilmember Harp also served as Mayor Pro Tem, which is an additional responsibility, and so you did an admirable job in filling that role and being available in the event that I wasn't able to represent the city at various events and functions. And so I thank your willingness to jump in, sometimes even on short notice, to take care of things. And so certainly appreciate your service and the support of your wife also, who allowed you to do this, I'm sure, and has also been supportive in your endeavors as well. So best of luck to you as you all settle in another location in another state, and we wish you the best of luck. All right.
Excuse me, Mayor.
Yes, ma'am.
We just have a slight change on the deadline for filing for Ward 5. January the 2nd is a holiday for the city because the first fell on Sunday. So the 3rd,
Okay.
Tuesday, January 3rd,
Okay.
5 o'clock.
Okay, let me make that announcement. So since January the 2nd, which is on a Monday, is the New Year's Day federal holiday, then the deadline will be extended until 5 p.m. on Tuesday, January the 3rd. Once again, Tuesday, January the 3rd. All right, thank you, Ms. Evans. Appreciate that. At this time, move along to appointments to boards and commissions and committees. Do we have any appointments to be made this evening by the council? Hearing none, we'll move along to we'll look at our council members' annual board appointments review. So the council members and I serve on various boards and commissions and committees in the city. And so, council, if you have not had a chance, if you'll take a look on those particular boards or committees that you serve on, if you're interested in continuing your service on those, your service is greatly appreciated. If there's someone who needs to make a change or get off a particular board or committee, then we certainly respect that too. So is everyone pleased with where you're serving? Okay. All right. Okay. Very good. At this time, move along to items for consideration in reference to our consent items. Consider approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of the City Council held on November 14th, 2022 at 6 p.m. Item 2, resolution number 2022-145, authorizing the purchase of a cybersecurity rubric disaster recovery solution from SHI Government Solutions of Austin, Texas, in the amount of $215,130 from budgeted technology funds to be fully reimbursed from the 2022 Homeland Security grant awarded to the city. Item 3, resolution number 2022-146, authorizing the city manager to execute a one-time agreement with MTG Engineers and Surveyors Incorporated of Texarkana, Texas, in an amount not to exceed $72,500 with funds budgeted from the 2022 bond fund, Fund 425, to supply the design, surveying, and drawings for the Robinson Road Street Reconstruction Project. Item 4, Resolution number 2022-147, authorizing the city manager to purchase one 2022 Case CE 650M dozer through the Sourcewell Buy Board in an amount not to exceed the Texas portion with budgeted funds of $62,204.55 and the total amount not to exceed $99,431.82. Item 5, Resolution number 2022-152, authorizing the city manager to execute a contract with Windstream Kinetic for VoIP phone service in the amount of $179,964 over a 3-year period with funds budgeted in departmental budgets. So unless a council member would like to pull one or more items for further review or consideration, at this time I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as it has been presented. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
We have a motion by Councilmember Hart and a second by Councilmember Matlock. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The consent agenda has been approved. Action items, we do have one action item this evening, Resolution number 2022-151, appointing a mayor pro tem beginning December 12, 2022 until such a time the city council elects a successor mayor pro tem. This is an item that we look at annually along with our appointments to serving on boards and commissions. So any comments from the council this evening relating to the resolution?
Yes,
Ms. Hart?
I recommend Jean Matlock as Mayor Pro Tem.
Okay, we have a motion for Councilmember Matlock. Is there a second? All right, Councilmember Harp has seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Okay, Resolution 2022-151 has been approved. Thank you, Ms. Matlock, for your willingness to serve.
Thank you all for having me, for having confidence that I can do the job. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Moving along now to our first briefings. Items 1 and items 2 are related, so I'm going to read both items and then Michelle Daniel is going to come forward and brief the council on these items combined. Item 1 under first briefings, ordinance number 2022-153, rezoning a portion of a 4.60 acre tract of land being tract 19 J.W. Lane Headright Survey A-345 located at 6500 Summerhill Road from office to general retail. William Davis Trust owner, Josh Davis and David Williams, MTG engineers and surveyors agents. Item 2, ordinance number 2022-154, amending PD 22-2 for the site plan approval of Lot 1, J&J Supreme Subdivision, minor plat, located at 6500 Summerhill Road. Josh Davis representing William Davis Trust, owner, and David Williams, MTG engineers and surveyors agent. And just by the way, on all of these first briefing items this evening, we do have public hearings and council vote at our next meeting on January the 9th. At this time, I'll turn it over to Michelle Daniel to brief the council on these two items. Good evening, Michelle.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Council. And so this is a request to rezone a portion of a 4.6 acre tract of land located at 6500 Summerhill Road from office to general retail. The property is currently leased office space and a gymnasium. The proposed use is lease space for a hot yoga and or office space. The future land use map has designated this property as high-density residential. The adjacent zoning is multiple family 2 to the north, agriculture to the south, single family 1 to the east and west. The adjacent land use is residential to the north and west, a cemetery to the south, and vacant land to the east. Staff and planning and zoning do recommend for approval of this request. As far as the site plan approval, which was item number 2, the site plan does include the construction of a 2,675 square foot building. The facade will be brick veneer and EFIS. 12 parking spaces, including 1 handicap space and 1 32 square foot sign on the front of the building. No electronic messaging will be allowed. Staff and planning and zoning has also recommended for approval, and I will be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions for Michelle on this item? Okay, all right, very good. Item number 3 is ordinance number 2022-155, granting a specific use permit to allow the single-wide HUD code manufactured home on an approximate .36 acre tract of land being Tract 58, Grandview Edition, TR4, located at 3207 Montgomery Street. Shamikia and Robert Blackwell, owners. Michelle?
Good. So again, this is a request for a specific use permit to allow the location of a single-wide HUD code manufactured home located at 3207 Montgomery Street. This is currently vacant land. The adjacent zoning is single-family 3 to the north, east, and west, and single-family 2 to the south. The adjacent land use is residential to the north and east, and vacant land to the south and west. The future land use map designates this property as neighborhood residential. Staff and Planning and Zoning do recommend for approval of this request with the following stipulations: that one 2016 or newer single-wide HUD code manufactured home be allowed on the property, that the home be tied down and skirted or underpinned, and that the home be used for dwelling purposes only. And that all city codes must be met. Staff and Planning and Zoning do approve this, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Michelle on this item? Okay, moving along with our first briefings, items 4 and 5 are related, so I will combine the reading on that, and then Michelle will brief us on that item. Item 4 is ordinance number 2022-156, rezoning lots 9 and 10, block 13, Sanders Edition, located at 2413 Bryan Street, from single family 2 to single family 3. William Matlock, owner. Item number 5, ordinance number 2022-157, granting a specific use permit to allow the location of a single-wide HUD code manufactured home on lots 9 and 10, block 13, Sanders Edition, located at 2413 Bryan Street. William Matlock, owner. Michelle?
Good evening again. So as you said, this is a request to rezone 2413 Bryan Street from single family 2 to single family 3. The property is currently vacant land. The proposed use is a single-wide HUD code manufactured home. The adjacent zoning is single family 2 to the north, south, west, and commercial to the east. The adjacent land use is residential to the north, south, west, and vacant land to the east. The future land use map designates this property as neighborhood residential. Staff and Planning and Zoning do recommend approval for this request. As far as the SUP, Staff and Planning and Zoning do recommend for approval of this request with the following stipulations: that one 2016 or newer single-wide HUD code manufactured home be allowed on the property, that the home be tied down and skirted or underpinned, and that the home be used for dwelling purposes only. I will be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Questions for Michelle on this item? Okay, council, items numbers 6 and 7 are also related, so I will read those as a combined reading. Item 6, ordinance number 2022-158, rezoning lots 4 and 5, block 1, two States Edition, located at 3515 Waco Street. Larry Rose, owner. Item 7, ordinance number 2022-159, granting a specific use permit to allow the location of a prefabricated factory fabricated home or shell on lots 4 and 5, block 1, two States Edition. In council on number 7, the address was left off, but it is the same address, 3515 Waco Street. Larry Rose, owner. Michelle?
So as you said, this is a request to rezone 3515 Waco Street from single family 2 to single family 3. The property is currently vacant land, and the proposed use is a prefabricated, factory fabricated home. The adjacent zoning is single family 2 to the south and east, commercial to the west, and an industrial 2 to the north. The adjacent land use is residential to the south, vacant land to the east and west, and a factory to the north. The future land use map designates this property as industrial. For the specific use permit, staff and Planning and Zoning recommend for approval with the following stipulations: that one prefabricated or factory fabricated home be allowed on this property, that the home be used for dwelling purposes only, and then a specific use permit be in effect for a period of 3 years. All other applicable building codes and city codes must be met. I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions on these items? Okay, at this time, we have one more first briefing item. It's item number 8, ordinance number 2022-160, rezoning the north 14 feet and west half of Lot 14 and the south 36 feet west of half of Lot 15, Harms Addition, located at 813 Cap Street. John Marshall, owner. Michelle?
So this is a request to rezone a north portion of 813 Cap Street from two-family 1 to commercial. The proposed use is a barber shop. The property is currently vacant land, and access would be from Cap Street. The adjacent zoning is two-family 1 to the north and west and commercial to the south and east. The adjacent land use is residential to the north and south, a church to the west, and vacant land to the east. Half of this property is already zoned commercial and the other half is zoned two-family 1, and so the applicant wants the property to conform to one zoning district. Staff and Planning and Zoning do recommend for approval of this request, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Questions from Michelle on item 8? Okay, all right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. At this time, move along to our public hearings portion of the agenda. We do have several public hearings scheduled this evening. Item 1 is resolution number 2022-149, authorizing the city manager to execute addendums requested by Texarkana Renewal Properties, LLC, to 2 existing EPA revolving loan fund cleanup loans and 2 economic development facade revolving loan fund loans, amending the loan terms with Texarkana Renewal Properties, LLC, in an effort to support downtown redevelopment. We are going to have a briefing on this item as well as item 2 before I open the public hearings on each item. So Daphne Ryan is here to provide additional information to the council this evening relating to this particular resolution. Good evening, Daphne.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This resolution is for the city manager to execute addendums to 4 existing loans. These are 2 EPA RLF brownfields loans that was funded with grant funds in 2020 and 2021, as well as 2 facade restoration loans that were also executed in 2020. The bank building, as you will probably already know from those loans, and as well as the parking garage, had a lot of asbestos containing materials that was a health and safety risk to the public. Those loans were used to abate the asbestos from those buildings. The facade restoration loans did facade improvements to parts of the parking garage and also the bank building. As you remember, the bank building had the marble panels on it. They were beginning to deteriorate and fall and needed removed for health and safety of the public. So those facade loans removed those marble panels, and it served in 2 parts. It served to remedy the safety hazards as well as to expose that original historic building, which was needed in order to apply for historic designation. All of that being part of the redevelopment in progress. That historic designation was obtained, and so that was the first step to also apply for historic tax credits, which will be part of this overall financing of this redevelopment. So to continue the redevelopment, Texarkana Renewal Properties has secured a $5.7 million loan with Midland States Bank, pending city's approval to amend our terms to extend the loan to 18 years, and it also includes no payments for 6 years. Interest will continue to accrue during that time, and the total accrued interest will be due when the loan payments begin. Texarkana Renewal Properties also plans to apply for refinancing through the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development Section 223F program, which is a refinancing option for market rate rental housing. HUD refinancing of the project can occur when the project is complete and units are leased to a point that shows stability. At the closing of that HUD refinancing, all of our loans would be paid off. The project scope meets the qualifications of that HUD program. and it generally takes about 3 years to accomplish. Our proposed amendment allows for this period as well as possible project delays. In the event the HUD refinancing does not occur as planned, payments to the city would begin in years 7 through 18. So there's no long-term negative fiscal impact to the city, and if the HUD refinancing does not come through, the city will actually earn more interest than we would have from the original loan terms. The revolving loan fund committee met last week and by unanimous vote recommends approval. City staff supports this resolution as well. So if I can answer any questions, I'll be happy to do so.
And Daphne, I saw this in the packet, but if you'll help me recall this, what's the total amount, the loan amount?
The total loan amount is $930,000 for all 4 loans.
Okay. Total?
Yes.
930, okay. Any questions by the council on this item? Okay, thank you for that briefing, Daphne, really appreciate it. At this time, I'll declare the public hearing open on resolution number 2022-149. If there's anyone in the audience who would like to come forward and address the council on this item, if you'll please come forward and state your name for the record.
My name is David Peavy.
Good evening, Mr. Peavy. Glad to have you with us.
I'm here to answer any questions. What's happened is as interest rates went up, and inflation goes up, they kept lowering how much they could loan me, and then they had a marker. Banking people understand, and anyone that's bought a house, it's based on percentages of payback, and so they went from a 1.2 to a 1.3, which made this necessary for us to get the funding to continue the project. It is a very complicated, as y'all know on the Grim, you have so many moving parts and trying to get everybody happy at the same time. The city has done more, y'all have done great. Y'all have got it to where it is. I'm embarrassed that I don't have my windows in. It's flopping out there. They're about $450,000, so I'm spending money on engineering and all these things to get everything ready. We're still sending things back to the National Park Service, and everything is there, ready to go. This is this important piece to get the bank where they're happy. We still have federal investors coming in for the tax breaks there. And then we have a bridge loan lender, Grand Rapids, and then this is Midland out of Illinois loaning this other part. And the whole idea is that we will get it stabilized, and then we'll go back and refinance it through this program that allows for this with market rate financing on these types of apartments, of which are going to be very nice. I'm here to answer any questions, any apprehensions y'all may have.
So, Mr. Peavy, what is the projected timeline as far as getting these things in place and moving forward?
I am hopeful that based on this, we are able to send them a note. Again, I know y'all are supposed to have hearings and do different things, and before anything we can do to speed that up here would speed it up there. They're waiting to hear of finalization of that, so if it could be done quickly, that would be great, if you're in agreement with it. It is going to allow us to recreate that building. It's going to be really, really nice, and you're going to be very, very proud of it when we open that up. To answer your question, if we're able to get it all this done mid-January, if y'all could get this done and then we could get everybody pulled together by mid-January, about a year later we expect to be open. I know the Grim's gone very slow and they're being very tedious on a lot of things. We have a much better building than that. We have a good roof on. We have electrical and plumbing systems that are operating, so we can go a lot faster than what they're having to back up and do over there.
Okay. Any questions from the council? All right. Thank you, Mr. Peavy.
Thank you.
Public hearing is still open on this item. If anyone else would like to address the council, please come forward. State your name for the record. At this time, we'll declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the resolution?
So moved.
Second? Okay, we have a motion by Councilmember Williams and a second by Councilmember Page. This item pertains to a resolution, so there is not a caption. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No. Resolution 2022-149 passes unanimously. Mr. Peavy, good luck to you. It takes a while to get those windows now, so you better put in plenty time for that. So windows are still hard to come by. Anyway, but best of luck to you. All right, appreciate your time and investment in downtown. All right. At this time, we'll move along to item number 2, resolution number 2022-150, authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement for economic development services with Artex Ready in the amount of $500,000 over the next 5 years. We have Lisa Thompson, who is going to brief the council on this item, and then afterwards I will open the floor up for a public hearing. Good evening, Lisa.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Tonight you'll see a draft contract in your packets. This resolution would authorize us in entering into a formal agreement with Ready. We've been working with them since their inception for several years now, and I can say they are a great support to us. They do truly provide collaboration in our whole region, which is what Texarkana has always needed. And so I'm excited about the opportunity to work with them more closely. Rob's always a great resource for us, a good sounding board, and this will take our collaboration even further. Happy to answer any questions. Staff does recommend for approval.
Okay. Any questions from the council? I just would like to echo Rob Sitterly, as director, does an incredible job. Mr. Barry's here this evening, who serves on the board. Is there anyone else here from the board? I don't see anyone else, but this organization is working day and night to bring economic development and jobs to our community, and so they are very hard at work and a very integral part of our community, and they have an excellent working relationship, not only with our city, but also with our sister city, as well as with Miller and Bowie County. So we want to certainly thank you all for the great work that you do. All right. Thank you, Lisa. All right, appreciate your time. At this time, I'll declare the public hearing open on resolution number 2022-150. If there's anyone in the audience who would like to address the council, if you'll please come forward and state your name for the record. Not seeing anyone coming forward at this time, I'll declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the resolution?
So moved. Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Harp, and we have a second by Councilmember Davis. Once again, this pertains to a resolution, so there is not a caption. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Resolution number 2022-150 passes unanimously. All right. Thank you once again for y'all being here this evening and everything that you do in the community. Item number 3 is ordinance number 2022-131, amending Chapter 8, Animal Care and Control of the Code of Ordinances by adding Section 8-21, Impoundment or Adoption Sterilization Requirements. At this time, I'll declare the public hearing open. If anyone would like to address the council, please come forward and state your name for the record. At this time, I'll declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the ordinance? We have a motion by Councilmember Page and a second by Councilmember Hart. Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
An ordinance of the Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending Chapter 8, Animal Care and Control of the Code of Ordinances by adding Section 8-21, Impoundment or Adoption Sterilization Requirement, and amending Section 8-1, Definitions of the terms Adoption and Animal Control Officer, containing repealer, severability, and superseding clauses, containing legislative findings, providing for publication, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ordinance passes. Item number 4, ordinance number 2022-137, providing for the limited purpose annexation of approximately 8.755 acres in the H.S. Janes Headright Survey, A-306, Bowie County, Texas, by owner consent and pursuant to the city's strategic partnership agreement with Macedonia ILO Municipal Utility District Number 1 of Bowie County. At this time, I declare the public hearing open. If anyone would like to address the council on this particular item, please come forward. At this time, I declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the ordinance?
So moved.
We have a motion by Councilmember Hart Ms. Matlock, did you second? We have a second by Councilmember Matlock. Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, providing for the limited purpose annexation of approximately 8.755 acres of land in H.S. Janes HRS A-306, Bowie County, Texas, by landowner consent and strategic partnership agreement between Macedonia Ilu Municipal Utility District Number 1 of Bowie County and the City of Texarkana, Texas, containing severability and superseding clauses, containing legislative findings and establishing an effective date to occur upon a specified event.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ordinance passes unanimously. Moving along to item number 5, ordinance number 2022-138, ordering the legal sale of malt beverages and wine for off-premise consumption only within commercial property annexed for limited purposes pursuant to ordinance number 2022-137 and extending the provisions of Chapter 21 of the city's Code of Ordinances to the designated area of limited purpose annexed commercial property. At this time, I'll declare the public hearing open on this item. If anyone would like to address the council, please come forward and state your name for the record. At this time, I'll declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the ordinance?
So moved.
We have a motion by Councilmember Davis, a second by Councilmember Harp. Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, ordering the legal sale of malt beverages and wine for off-premise consumption only within commercial property annexed for limited purposes pursuant to ordinance number 2022-137, extending the provisions of Chapter 21 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Texarkana, Texas, to the designated area of limited purpose annexed commercial property, providing for publication, containing legislative findings, and establishing an effective date to occur upon a specified event.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ordinance passes. Moving along to item number 6, resolution number 2022-140, approving the Community Development Block Grant, CDBG, Comprehensive Assessment Performance Evaluation Report. At this time, I'll declare the public hearing open on this item. If anyone would like to address the council, please come forward. At this time, I'll declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the resolution?
So moved.
We have a motion by Councilmember Hart, second by
Second.
Councilmember Williams. Once again, this is not an ordinance matter, so we don't have a caption. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The resolution passes. This concludes our public hearings portion of the agenda. We'll now move along to the city manager's report. Dr. Orr.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Just a few updates to pass along to you tonight. First off, another good month for sales tax. So our sales tax receipts for the month of November totaled a little over $1.9 million. That's an increase of 9.53% compared to the same month last year. Also, our fiscal date collections have totaled about $20 million so far, $21 million, an increase of 6.97 compared to last year. Just a quick update, we're right at almost the 2-year mark of our cyber attack that occurred, and so just wanted to give an update on our recent analysis report. So both city managers received an opportunity to hear from our consultant and the work that's been done over the last 2 years. And so TWU, from the report, has implemented numerous solutions, processes, and complex configuration designs to enhance our information security and reduce our risk since last year's review. And so I know Brandon and some of his team is in the audience tonight, so just want to thank them for their hard work as we continue our recovery process. But they've done a ton of work the last 2 years to recover from our cyber attack. Also, I want to have a few new staff introductions to introduce tonight. So we have a few new staff members and then also a promotion from our Parks Department. Our longtime building official, Keith Lee, retired last month, and our new building official is Sean Maxey. Also, we've reorganized the receptionist position in the city manager's office into a management fellow program, and I'm excited to announce our first management fellow is Chiquita Burks. And so Chiquita is in the audience with us tonight. And finally, longtime part-time Parks Maintenance Supervisor Kenny Jordan retired, and Donnie Sparks has been promoted to fill that position as well. So we're excited for those new staff positions. And just a reminder, City Hall offices are closed on Thursday, December 22nd through Monday, December 26th, and as we noted earlier, also January 2nd for New Year's. And just want to take this opportunity again to thank Councilmember Bill Harp for his years of service with the city, and just specifically for his leadership on this council and for his mentorship over the years. So thank you, Bill. And just to everyone, Merry Christmas to you and your families. So we'll see you next year.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Orr. It's been a very prosperous, successful year, a very quick year. So we certainly appreciate the support that the staff gives the council. It's greatly appreciated, and keep up the good work. All right, this time we'll move along to administrative comments. Any comments from the council this evening directed to the staff? All right. Any final comments from staff, Dr. Orr? Okay, very good. So at this time, the City Council will convene into closed session pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.087, Economic Development Negotiations. Number 1, to discuss or deliberate regarding commercial or financial information that the government body has received from a business prospect that the governmental body seeks to have locate, stay, or expand in or near the territory of the governmental body in which the government body is conducting economic development negotiations, Project Strong Foundation. Item number 2, to deliberate the offer of financial or other incentive to a business prospect described by subdivision, and then Project Strong Foundation. And let me get my... And for everyone here and those watching on live stream, the council does not anticipate taking any action after closed session other than reconvening into open session and adjourning the meeting. And at this time, we're supposed to end the live stream, but I just want to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. Hope that you and your families have safe travels during the holiday season. And at this time, wishing you a great evening, and at this time we'll end the live stream. Once again, thank you all for being here this evening.